There's no such thing as a 99-cent hamburger. Until the day comes when 4 men stand around a backyard barbecue, shirtless, measuring out their ground beef in squirts from a tube, McDonald's is selling a lie. Or rather, an agreement. See, they know your ass is broke the moment you walk through their doors, and you know that their food isn't really food. But as long as you call their horror show a hamburger, they'll call you a customer. Even though all you really are is desperate. Once I understood this commerce of compromise, I was on my way to understanding how my mom got through her life. My mother loves me more than any single or combined force in this world. I have never lived a moment in doubt of this, just as I have never lived a moment in doubt that she has never loved being a mother. That is a confusing sentence, but it has been a confusing ride, so I will elaborate. I've learned not to take anything for granted about what is obvious about my mother. I've known her for 30 years, and I'm only just now beginning to truly know her. She's private to a degree of 1. Carlos Castaneda is one of her favorite authors, and he says reality is an agreement of 2, so appropriately she lives in her own. Her history has been revealed in a sporadic fashion. Every time I brought a new girlfriend home, Mom would have a glass of wine with her and divulge a secret. See, girlfriends were situational. I was constant, and therefore never a confidant. Yeah, I taught English for Bell Helicopter in Tehran during the Shah. My students were all girls. They were the ones who told me when it was time to leave, even when the CIA was just insisting that they had the situation under control. They saved my life. And after the revolution, they were all hanged. My ex-girlfriend heard Mom tell that story while I was in the next room making dinner, and she was the one to relate it to me. I've never admitted to hearing it, but I did stop mocking my mom for being slow to make friends afterwards. You know, your mother never wanted to be my wife, but she was obsessed with having a child, and, once we did, she was just done with me. My father delivered that sentence to me, apropos of nothing, when I tracked him down at 18. It was his way of excusing his absence, but it was a gift beyond his intentions. Being a mother was a condition, never her identity. She had been a military brat, an Irish schoolgirl, an artist, an au pair in gay Paris, a mistress, an abused lover, a spy, briefly a wife, and then suddenly a mother. She was 29 with a child she'd given birth to and another she'd fallen in love with, so she learned to compromise. She raised her son, and she left a Vietnam vet to raise himself. She was a single mom at a time when preachers were saying that they'd raise gay sons if they weren't present in the home, and being gay was nothing like joyful at the time. She was a single mom when politicians were saying stay-at-home welfare queens were causing the downfall of America, so she compromised. Mom became a career woman while my grandmother raised me, and she missed my first word, my first step, my first drawing. She only saw me when I was sleeping. The agreement was to call her a single mom, but we both knew she was a ghost. See, I was learning to compromise too. Memories of her rebellion from this situation are abstract. The afternoon she came home early without explanation and took me to Chuck E. Cheese, even though I'd only been there on birthdays, just to see me there. The trips to the toy store without explanation or cause, and the spontaneous and only vacation of our lives to the Bahamas, where we two lily white turned beet red on the first day and spent the next 5 in bed recovering. Incongruous moments, dreamless and weightless. It was only when she started cooking did it become vivid. She came home one day determined to cook dinner all by herself, as mothers without compromise did. And she was determined to make a meatloaf, the staple of suburbia. She hadn't gone shopping in a couple of days, so no bread, no cornflakes to use in the mix, but this is just a matter of improvising. There was raisin bran, which she poured into a large mixing bowl along with an egg and a pound of sirloin. We only started laughing halfway through. It was the bridge too far for our agreement to reach, but it was also the metaphor that made everything possible. She was determined to be called a mother, even though sometimes all she was desperate. Sometimes nobody noticed the difference. Sometimes she made a fucking fruitcake out of ground beef. But she never for a moment stopped going through the motions. Thank you.